So I wanted to do a quick review of the GBC 1144 quote-unquote revive Exia. So it's based off of the metal build. As you can see in there, I have the repair 4 for a little comparison later. But yeah, this is like a scaled down metal build and I think it looks pretty good. It has pretty good articulation, a lot of good detail, not a lot of seam lines. Mold lights even are also not that crazy. Overall I think it's really good. I got it for 26 bucks on AliExpress. Not a lot of retailers like Gundam Central or Gundam It are carrying this right now, at least yet. So if you want to get it now, you have to go through AliExpress. I got it without the box, which is probably why it wasn't more. I think if you want the box, it'll be like 30 something. But it was wrapped in bubble wrap and it was fine. Alright, I'll go over the accessories that you get. So you get the GN condensers in red. And you would expect, so here's the color of them. They're more of a yellow-green, but as you can see, we're used to this color, right? It's more of a blue-green that we're familiar with, but I think it's because the metal build actually uses this color as well. So I think they were pretty faithful to the metal build, even in the color of the condenser thingies. So if you like that, that's cool. I personally would have preferred the normal blue-green color we get, but I'm satisfied with that color. Okay, so you also get red version of the GN cables, and this is the color you normally get. So it's kind of like this rubbery, opaque material, and I really like it. I wish Bandai would use this material, because it's actually kind of good to work with. It doesn't scratch easily either. Here's the stickers. They're fine. They're like usual stickers, but they're not shiny. Something to note though is that they kind of behave like vinyl. So what will happen is that you'll put a sticker in, let's say, the leg part here, and it won't fit 100% completely, so you might need to pat it down with like a cotton swab or a toothpick or something, and you might crease it a bit, which is annoying. I already did that with, I think, a part in the head, but it's not that big of a deal, honestly. It's going to be hidden by those clear parts anyway. You get the side parts here for putting on the GN swords. You get the 2 GN swords, the long and the short. You get the 4 beam saber hilts, and you get the effect parts. You also get hands, so you get 2 open hands, closed fist, or 2 closed fists, and 2 open hands for holding the beam sabers. You also get water slides, and they actually look pretty good. I think you can actually read them, which is a far cry from other third-party slides I've seen. And as a little bonus, you actually get another V-fin, which is actually different than the one you get in the kit. It's actually slightly different. And you also get another head, or face. So you might be thinking, why does it look all weird? Why are the eyes so far apart? Those actually aren't the eyes. The eyes are those 4 little slants. And for those eagle-eyed people, this is actually based off of that red version of the Exia design. I think it's called the One Gundam type Exia, and I think it's for that stage play a couple of years ago, where they had a red version of the Exia, the Dynamis, the Curios, and the Virtue. And I don't know the story behind them. I assume they're like fake versions of all the pilot suits, so I don't know. You can look that up, but that's what it's for. And I guess, yeah, you can make a red version of the Exia. So I want to get a second version so I can paint it. That'd be pretty cool. Alright, so here is the Exia itself. To note, here is the head motion, so it can go forward that much, back that much. It's a double ball joint. It goes up that much. In terms of going down, is actually not that much. I mean, that's pretty good, right? Better than the HG. Cockpit doesn't move. It's an HG, essentially. The GN sword moves as you'd expect. Same for the shield. Nothing much to really say there. The skirts are a bit not different, but they're a bit hard to work with if you want to do ground pose, because they don't move in two sections like the PG. Here's the back. Nothing much to say about the GN condenser. It doesn't really come back up in one part like the MG, as to be expected. Not too many seam lines. I mean, if you count this as a seam line, I guess you can count that, but it's one of those parts that kind of tries to make itself look like detail because of the recess. But if you'd have to glue it because it is kind of coming apart a little bit. There's actually a lot of detail that is present on the metal build, which is really nice. Not a lot of imperfections in the plastic either. Alright, so I'll show you a little bit of its articulation. Alright, so this is showing pretty much the extent of it. So you can move the arms that far up. Both arms can do 180 curl. The arm can hold the sword up like this for that iconic pose, which is nice. Very lightweight. The legs can do this much of a split. Actually really good. They're not on ball joints. It is a universal peg, and then you also have a peg there for a stand. Okay, I'll show a couple more. Alright, here's one pose. I put one of the GN swords just to give you guys an idea of how it could articulate. It's not terrible, but it really is for just a standing pose if you want to display the long and short sword on the side. As usual with the Exia kits, you can't really do anything too articulate, otherwise they start hitting things. Here's the pose with the open hand. Looks really nice. And you get 180 with the legs. There is an ab crunch. It is slight, but it is not too far forward. I can try moving it a little bit forward to give you an idea. Yeah, that's about the extent of it. It really doesn't go that far, disappointingly, but still better than the high grade. Okay, I'll do one more. Alright, and here's one more with the beam sabers, and I just realized that one of these actually needs to be shorter, right? Because one of them is a short beam saber. That's funny, but oh well. So yeah, here's the final pose. I think this thing, overall, it looks really good. This is definitely an Exia revive that we've all wanted. It could be better. I think if Bandai were to do one themselves, they would probably do really good and probably do better than this kit, but they're not giving it to us, so this is what we're left with from a third-party company, and I like it a lot. Yeah, you can see you can get pretty dynamic poses with this thing. It's very solid too, and I like that. Again, my main gripes with this kit are that the waist articulation, you can't even go side to side with it, unfortunately. And it doesn't have that great of an ab crunch. The neck or the head doesn't go down as much as I'd like, but it's not even that big of a deal, honestly. The feet are ball joints. They're not really like the modern hinges in the 00 kits, but it's fine. The waist armor is an issue, but again, it's really not that big of a deal. So overall, this thing is definitely a buy. I would recommend you maybe wait until other retailers that we're familiar with get this for a lower price, because 25 is fine, but I don't know. I think this kit's more worth like 20, $22. If you have to get it on AliExpress, it's fine, but yeah, it's up to you. Overall, I really like this kit. I'd say get it for a good price.